Hey there, fellow travelers, my name is Chris and I'll be your guide for the day. This is gonna be a fun one because I'm taking you on a tour of the nicest beaches of Laguna Beach. With 7 miles of coastline, there really is a beach for everyone. Whether you're looking for cool rock formations, tide pools, oceanside bluffs, surf spots, or just want to lay on sandy beaches, Laguna has you covered. I'll highlight the differences between the beaches and give you some info on visiting them. For more general info on Laguna Beach as well as a downtown walking tour, check out the video linked up here. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and start the tour. Let's start off with some general info on the beaches of Laguna. All beaches are open year-round from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. The beaches are dog friendly, and from June 15th to September 10th, dogs are allowed before 9 a.m. and after 6 p.m. From September 11th to June 14th, dogs are allowed during regular beach hours. Laguna Beach is a state marine reserve with no-take rules for shells and sea life. Also, the tide will play a role at some of the beaches I mentioned. In general, the tide is extremely low during the winter months from November to March. However, there are also fluctuations between low and high tide throughout the day as they go in and out twice every 24 hours and 50 minutes due to the gravitational forces exerted on the Earth by the Moon. Times vary day by day, and I usually go to tide-forecast.com or tideschart.com to check the times. The beaches in Laguna can be separated between north beaches and south beaches, with Main Beach in the center of it all. We are starting with the north beaches and kicking things off at Crescent Bay Beach, then head over to Shaw's Cove, Fisherman's Cove, Diver's Cove, Picnic Cove, and Rockpile. After that, we'll get to Main Beach before going to the southernmost beach of our tour, Thousand Steps Beach. And from here, we'll make our way up via Aliso Beach, Treasure Island, Victoria, Brooks Street, Oak Street, Anita Street, and Thalia St Beach. I'll also throw in a few surprises here and there. Alright, so first beach on the list is the northernmost beach of our tour, Crescent Bay. There is metered parking available on PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, as well as free parking in the neighborhood, mainly along Cliff Drive. This beach does have showers and restrooms on site, and there is also a lifeguard on duty. During the big summer swell, expect skimboarders and body surfers in the water. They do separate the beach between people just wanting to swim and the skimboarders. So even if you're just here to swim, this beach is a good option for you. When the waves are mellow, this is actually also a good snorkeling spot, especially along the rocks at either side of the shoreline. I really like that at north and south end of the bay, you have these towering cliffs, which gives you a bit of a secluded feeling. Another cool feature of this beach are the tide pools at the south end. Note that these are only accessible during low tide. Laguna Beach is actually known for its tide pools, and you'll find them at many of the beaches. Tide pools are areas where the ocean meets the land. These formations created isolated pockets of water which result in a unique ecosystem filled with a variety of ocean life that adapts to the tidal pool environment. As they are part of the marine protected environment, they are protected against fishing, touching, and harvesting. While you're exploring the tide pools, always be careful and pay attention to the waves. Also make sure to bring water shoes. Your feet will thank you as these rocks can be quite sharp. If you look closely here, you see several anemones in this tide pool. You'll also see a lot of mussels and shore crabs. In the distance, out in the water, you'll often see stand-up paddleboarders and kayakers. I believe they mainly go into the water at nearby Fisherman's Cove, which we'll visit shortly. So I walked down and back up at South Crescent Bay. If you have anything with wheels like a cooler, make sure to go down this way. Because as we get back to Cliff Drive and turn left, there's actually another path down to the beach at Crescent Bay North. But keep in mind that there are only stairs to get down to the beach from here. Now, if you go a bit further up the hill at the north end of Crescent Bay, you'll eventually get to Crescent Bay Point Park, a bluff top with amazing views. And it's also a great spot to fly your drone. Now, onto the next beach, which is located a short walk along Cliff Drive just south of Crescent Bay. This is Shaw's Cove. First, I'd like to point out that there are trolley stops all along the coast, and it's free to ride that trolley. So if you want, you can actually park your car in just one spot and then use the trolley for some beach hopping. I'll leave a link with more info on the trolley in the description below. As we get down to the beach, you'll notice that there are no restrooms or showers, but there is a lifeguard on duty. From what I've heard, this is a good beach for diving and snorkeling. I'm thinking of putting together a video with good snorkeling spots in Southern California and actually going underwater and film. Comment down below if this is something you would enjoy watching. At the south and north end of the beach, you can walk along these rock shelves and explore. We head back up the stairs, leaving Shaw's Cove, and continue further south along Cliff Drive, and just a short walk gets us over to Fisherman's Cove. Looks like Laguna Ethos is on site, which is a company that provides surf lessons and kayak tours. Fisherman's Cove, which is also referred to as Boat Canyon, is definitely the place to be if you want to go kayaking or stand-up paddleboarding. And sure enough, as we get down the stairs and onto the beach, you'll see a group of people out in the water with kayaks and SUPs. I also talked to some snorkelers while I was there, and they told me this is a great spot for snorkeling. So yeah, this is your beach if you want to be active on a SUP, kayak, or go underwater. There is a lifeguard on duty, but again, like Shaw's Cove, no restrooms nor showers. For that, you'd have to walk up to nearby Heisler Park. And as we get back up there, to our right are the stairs to get to the next beach, Divers Cove. We go down the stairs at the south end of the cove, which at the same time marks the north end of the beautiful Heisler Park. As the name, Divers Cove, suggests, this spot is great to go diving and also snorkeling for that matter, as it is well protected from most swells. So all you underwater explorers, definitely check out this beach. There is a lifeguard on duty, but for restrooms you'll have to go back up to Heisler Park. As you walk south along the sand, the beach actually turns into Picnic Beach. So both beaches, Divers Cove and Picnic Beach, blend into each other. You can swim at Picnic Beach, but be aware of riptides and submerged rocks. So you might just want to stick to wading in the shallows, lay in the sand, explore the tide pools during low tide, or take the ramp up to Heisler Park and grill some food in the picnic area. And now you know why this place is called Picnic Beach. Up here you'll also find the restrooms. And with that, we continue our walk along this coastal trail through Heisler Park. And our next stop is Monument Point. While this isn't a beach, I still wanted to include it as I really enjoyed exploring the rocks with all the animals as well as the tide pools. You'll see a lot of hermit crabs, some small fishes, and also lots of shore crabs. Keep in mind, you can only visit Monument Point during low tide. Alright, saying goodbye to the crabs and continuing our walk heading south through Heisler Park. As you can see, there are more picnic spots with barbecues, as well as more restroom facilities. Next stop on our list is Rockpile Beach. Please note that swimming is not allowed at this beach. The world-class surf break makes this a popular spot for the best surfers of Laguna. You should be an advanced surfer to ride those waves, or otherwise it's a great spot to watch the surfers do their thing, either from the beach or from up top at Heisler Park. There is a shower on the beach and restrooms are upstairs at Heisler Park. Along the beach you find some interesting rock formations to explore. This was our last stop at Heisler Park and concludes our tour of the north beaches of Laguna. Next up on the list is Main Beach, located just south of Heisler Park, and actually parts of it is still within the Heisler Park area. Main Beach is the closest beach to the village of Laguna with its many shops and galleries. Check out my Laguna Beach downtown walking tour video on that and some more impressions from Heisler Park as well. Main Beach essentially separates the north beaches of Laguna with the south beaches. There is metered parking available along PCH, or you can park in one of the parking lots in downtown Laguna. As we walk along the wooden boardwalk, you can see that a lot is happening here, and it's typically the busiest out of all the Laguna beaches. There are people sitting on the benches, laying in the sand, kids playing on the playground, some volleyball action going on, and there are even basketball courts. So yeah, if you're looking for a quiet beach with plenty of space to relax, this is not for you. However, this beach is great for swimming as there are no surfers to contend with, and for your convenience you'll find showers and restrooms at the north and south end of the beach. There are lifeguards on duty for your safety, and you should check out this old iconic lifeguard tower, a landmark of Laguna. Initially it was located at a gas station across the street and moved to the beach in 1937. This wraps up Main Beach, and now we are heading to the south beaches. Starting off at the southernmost beach we are going to visit on this tour, 1000 Steps Beach. There is parking available along PCH, and the steps to get down to the beach are located at PCH and 9th Avenue. While it's not actually 1000 steps to get down to the beach, more like 218, I can already tell you that going back up certainly feels like 1000 steps. So I encourage you not to bring a whole lot of stuff if you plan on going to this beach. There are restrooms and showers available as you enter the beach, and as you can see there's also a lifeguard on duty. This is a pretty big beach, so there's plenty of space for you to lay out on the sand, very different compared to Main Beach. Walking south along the shoreline we encounter some rocks, and to the left we pass a volleyball court. The net looks like it needs a bit of upgrading, but I guess it still works. At the southern end of the beach you'll find Laguna's most famous sea cave. I wasn't able to walk all the way to the cave due to the high tide. This is one of Laguna's classic shore break spots, and therefore it is quite popular with body surfers and skimboarders. However, if you're just here to swim, that's fine as well, as it is such a big beach that there's enough space in the water for everyone. We are now getting closer to the north end of the beach. We see more rocks as we go around the cliff, and then we see Totuava Beach, probably the least known beach in Laguna, as it has no public access of its own. The only way to get here, unless you have a mansion up on those hills, is from 1000 Steps Beach, and at times when the tide is too high you can't even get there. So yeah, if you're looking for even more privacy than 1000 Steps Beach can offer, this is for you. And this beach is certainly on top of my list, as I like avoiding the crowds. Keep in mind that there are no lifeguards on duty at this beach. Alright, let's make our way back to 1000 Steps Beach and get to our fitness challenge, climbing up those stairs back to PCH. Next stop is Aliso Beach, and from there we'll walk up to Treasure Island Beach and Goff Beach. Aliso Beach is the only beach with its own paid parking lot on site, and it's only $1 per hour to park here. There is also some free parking available along PCH, and while I did not see it, I think there is also an additional parking lot across the street as well. There are plenty of restrooms and showers available at this beach, and there is a lifeguard on duty. You also find the Lost Pier Cafe here, and it's a great spot to grab some food and drinks with some very nice views. Walking south along the beach, you'll encounter all these rocks for you to explore around the cliff. Now let's head north. This beach is very popular for skimboarding as the waves usually break right on shore. As a matter of fact, Aliso Beach is home to the VIC, the annual World Championship of Skimboarding, which just took place on the weekend of August 27th, 2022. Victoria Skimboards, the first company to manufacture skimboards, hosts this event, which is the longest running skimboarding championship in the world. And yes, you guessed it right, Victoria Skimboards is located right here in Laguna Beach along Laguna Canyon Road at the northern end of Laguna. Aliso Beach is also the only beach with fire pits, which I'm sure is cool to chill by the fire at night, hearing the waves crashing along the shoreline. We walk further north and you see a playground next to this creek. By the way, health officials advise you to stay out of that creek as it may contain bacteria. In the distance you see Aliso Creek Bridge, a historical bridge built in 1926. As I am walking further north, you can tell this is a pretty big beach as well, so plenty of space to lay in the sand. And eventually we'll get to Treasure Island Beach. This beach is managed in partnership by the city and the Montage Resort. They make sure the sand stays pristine. The Montage is a luxury resort located atop the hill, and we'll pass it here shortly. But first let's explore the beach a bit more. The southern end of the beach has sandy seafloor, making it the perfect spot for swimming. As we walk further north, we pass some large rock formations. These block the waves, which makes this protected inlet home to probably the clearest water in Laguna, and therefore one of the best snorkeling spots in the city. As we walk around the cliff through this cool rock formation, we see Middleman's Cove in the distance. I couldn't get there from here due to the high tide. In addition, you also find tide pools here, so yeah, definitely plenty to explore at this beach. Now we circle back to the southern end of Treasure Island Beach and make our way up to Treasure Island Park, which sits atop the bluffs. There are steps and a ramp to get to and from the beach. If you are not walking here from Aliso Beach, note that there is paid parking available at Lot 8 off of Wesley Drive and Lot 7 adjacent to the Montage Resort. Whenever you are here, I highly suggest you walk along the bluff top because it's really beautiful and you have some great views. Here we are at the Montage Resort, and as mentioned earlier, this is a 5-star luxury resort, so don't be surprised to see rates of $1,600 a night and up. Right here is the pool of the Montage Resort, and underneath you'll find the public restrooms, which would be the closest ones if you're down at the beach. And since the Montage is keeping the area pristine, I can certainly say that these were the nicest beach restrooms I encountered. If you walk a little further through Treasure Island Park, you'll get to Christmas Cove, which is a very small cove with a lifeguard on duty. And all the way at the southern end of Treasure Island Park, you'll find Goff Cove, So yeah, all of these coves and beaches are within the vicinity of Treasure Island Park and the Montage Resort. Now I'll leave you with some more impressions as I walk through Treasure Island Park before we get to our next stop, Victoria Beach, which is located close enough that we could even walk there, but I'll show you where to park along PCH if you drive. So here we are on PCH, and as you can see, there is parking available. Look around PCH and the NICEST plays signal to be closest to the steps for Victoria Beach. However, if you can't find parking here, then like I said, just head over to the lots around the Montage and walk over here. Walk down Victoria Drive to the stairs, and those will lead you down to the beach. As we get to that beach, you'll notice that there are no restrooms nor showers. And to the left, you see plenty of space to spread out, as well as a volleyball court. This beach is actually great for surfing and skimboarding, as well as swimming and snorkeling. We're gonna make a right here around the cliff for the main attraction of this beach, the Pirate Tower. Before we get there, we pass this man-made pool that has become quite popular due to Instagram. And during high tide, this pool actually fills up with water. Now, to the Pirate Tower. It is 60 feet tall and built right into the sandstone cliffs surrounding it. Based on the name, Pirate Tower, you might think there is some interesting pirate history behind it, but actually it has nothing to do with pirates. The tower was built in 1926 as an enclosed staircase to the beach for a senator from Los Angeles named William E. Brown. He was an avid painter and certainly put his own aesthetic tastes and love of Laguna's diverse geography into this tower. The property has switched hands a number of times since then, and today the tower is kept under locks. However, you can get to the base of the tower and go around it, but please note that this is only possible during low tide. The tide was certainly starting to come in as I was there, and I got soaked just a little bit. Despite this beach's fame with the Pirate Tower, it never really gets overcrowded. So yeah, definitely a nice beach to hang out and explore all the things it has to offer. Alright, moving on to the last stretch of beaches I'm going to cover in this video. And next up are Brooks Street Beach, Oak Street Beach, Anita Street Beach, and Thalia Street Beach. Kicking things off with Brooks Street Beach, there is metered parking available along PCH and also some spots on Brooks Street. There are showers here, but no public restrooms. And you won't find any restrooms at the beaches nearby either. This one is a local favorite to go surfing. However, keep in mind you should be an experienced surfer to ride the waves here. During certain times, a skilled surfer can actually ride about a quarter of a mile before the wave crashes on shore. In fact, this spot is home to the annual Brooks Street Classic, the longest running surf competition in the world. The competition is very popular with the local surfing community, and only locals can sign up to compete. The event organizers give themselves a long window to determine the dates, as they always wait for the perfect conditions when a huge south swell rolls in. And as a matter of fact, that just happened recently, and the event was held August 27th, 2022. Moving on to the next one, and just a short walk takes us over to Oak Street Beach. It's a nice spot to sit on one of the benches here, looking out on the ocean and watching the sunset. At this beach you usually have 2 wave breaks further out, as well as one on the sand, making it a popular spot for skimboarders and surfers alike. But also swimmers like to go out in the water here. In fact, during the summer months, only swimming is allowed during peak hours. Now let's walk over to the next one, Anita Street Beach. My understanding is that this stretch of the beach is also only for swimmers during peak hours in the summer months, but otherwise open for all. During off-peak hours, you'll likely see skimboarders practicing their craft. And now, last but not least, let's head over to Thalia St Beach. This is definitely the best spot in Laguna for beginner surfers, and you'll find a surf school right here called Goff Tours. The surf break is typically gentle, consistent, and rideable. And as you can tell, it's also a popular spot for skimboarders. Skimboarding actually started here in Laguna Beach and dates back to the late 1920s when Laguna Beach lifeguards used to skimboard on pieces of wood. From here it's actually just a short and easy walk over to Main Beach and downtown Laguna. This wraps up our beach tour of Laguna. I hope you enjoyed it, and as you saw, there are so many beaches to choose from, and I think the perfect fit for you really depends on what you're looking for. So let me know down in the comments below which one is your favorite, either from seeing the footage or maybe you've even been to some. Always look forward to hearing from you, and with that I say thank you and Dankeschön!